everyone has come today for a different reason, up to what each of you would like to know, experience, and embrace as this experience has come. For each of you have come here for a different reason, but it is a reason that we wanted each of you here in this exact moment in time, together as a collective, but also together as a connection with who each and each other are. For the bond each of you have is very important among each other, and is among each of you that you each bring something different to the table, so to speak, to allow yourselves to become in who you are. So we will start touching on this now first before we move on to other topics and discussion points that may come up or that you have asked of us that we will continue to expand upon. So with that, we want to touch with each of you to know and understand that you are the bringer of the gathering, of the people and of the collective. You bring so much more into you and allowing others to experience what it is that others have. So you are the creator of what is to come, where you are the one who allows things to happen, who is the one who makes things come together and allows yourself and others to stay on the path or on the plan. And you are the one who gets the energy flowing to allow more to come and experience, to allow things to come in to being. And you are the one who brings in a whole nother conceptual space of energy, who allows yourself to know and expand of what is coming and what is being. For when the four energies are together, there is so much more that is coming in and happening. As each of you feel the energy spinning within the space right now, allowing each of you to have that experience together. So why is this important, you ask? This is important for each of you to know and understand that as you feel the energies of others, as you allow yourself to grow and develop into who and what you are, it allows you to relate to where each other are at. And for you, your own being, to utilize and to rely on each other and the energies that are there to allow yourself to grow and expand. Now you may say, why is this important to me? What if I'm not in the space of the other person? That is not necessary. It is important for you to feel what there is and then to grow and expand from there. Now, as you grow and expand as a being, there is much more that is coming in with you. For as your energy melds with others, whether it be those of you in the room or those outside of the room that you come into contact with in another space, that perhaps you've astral traveled with, that you've had other lifetimes with, all of those energies that are there, you have the connection back again. For energy is almost a weave that has gone throughout the space of the universe. And although there might be a being in different places, those energy weaves are connecting. It's almost as it is of a spider web. And it is not necessarily a bad thing when all of these energies weave around the universe, for it is allowing those connections to happen. When you see someone on the street and smile, it is a realization of that energetic connection. When you speak to someone and feel the empathy for them, or the joy for them, or the happiness for them, that is another piece of that connection. So now I hear the question, well, what happens when you cut a cord? That is a cut of the energy grid. And that is true. It is a separation of that energy grid. But those are different energies that are at a much denser level that are being cut. When an energy is cut of the spider web energy grid, although it is severed, it has the ability to reconnect on a faster pace. And it is always at a higher level vibration for the beings that are there and for that understanding of what is there. And that is where you know and understand that the connection that they feel is right into where they need to be. So now as you have this grid that is either rising or lowering based on what is important for the overall being and for the overall universe, planet, and people that are affecting, know that there does not always have to be flat. that there will be times where it will be up and down, and it will be flowing based on what is needed, much as a spider web does in the wind, as a blanket does when it is laying over something. So that is not good or bad. It is just how it works and how the grid is. So do you have any questions on what we've spoken of so far before we talk about how it increases and decreases on the energy plane?
Is there some way to know when you're meeting people who are from your soul family, or is everyone part of the same soul family?
When you look at it from a collective, we all are part of the same one. There is all the energy that is together. But when you look at it on a smaller standpoint, there are those souls that are much more deeply rooted and connected together. For they are the people that possibly have lived many other lifetimes before. For they are those that perhaps have had connections with in lifetimes or on an energetic standpoint. So they tend to do things in tighter clusters. But when you look at soul family, to us, that is the collective of the all, because we are all of one and we were all of the same family. Does that answer your question? Okay. Any other questions before we move on? No? Okay. So when we talked about this plane here and the energy that each grid is on, there is the up and down movement of this overall grid. And so with that, know and understand that up is not better and down is not bad. But for, like, each being lives on an energetic pole where it runs through the center of the body, where a being can move up and down on this pole. The energetic grid of the universe does the exact same thing, for it allows it to move up and down, and that is why it is not always flat. There's those continued movements there. And with that, you know you have the ability to make those ebbs and flows. For the energy of the universe is not always constant, and there are different influences within the energies that help this grid adjust and move with what is necessary. So when the energy of the earth or the energy of the grid needs more of that grounding energy, you will see it go down to bring in the energy that is necessary for the grid and for those overall. And when it needs more of the celestial, lighter energy, it will move as well to reconnect with that energy space. And so there's that constant movement. The same way a human tends to be more grounded and goes down perhaps when they are ill, for the body comes from the earth and it needs the energy of the earth to regenerate and to heal. And then it will go back up more into the celestial realm when it is connecting with the higher spirits, when it is connecting with that energy to allow it to flourish and to expand. It is all about movement. And the thing that most people don't understand on this plane is that there has to be constant ebbs and flows, ups and downs, and movement. But one is not better than the other. One is not terrible than the next. For example, when you have the moment and you are unsure of what is happening and why you're feeling a certain way, it is important to feel into that energy in that space, to understand where you are and how you are rooting yourself, in what energy you need to look at that space, to delve into that feeling or that energy, to have a better understanding of where you're going and what you're doing. For that will be helpful overall as you continue to move and grow and develop into the being that each of you came here to be and that each of you want to be. Do you have any questions on what we've spoken on thus far?
Is there some place we're all trying to get to together?
Ultimately, we want every soul to reach that highest level of enlightenment, of that connection with Source, with love, with joy and beauty. All of those things that are on the planet and that the soul knows and understands and feels when it's not in the human form, elationless. But it is something that each soul has to grow and learn and develop to get to that higher plane, or that plane that is necessary for them. For each soul may choose to get to a different spot, but it is when they feel like they have experienced and grown enough for their work to be done. And that happens over many, many lifetimes. On this plane, on other planes, as a guide, as an assistant to someone else, as a director of something else that's going on. And so each of you souls have an idea of where they want to go. But you've chosen a lifetime, especially on this plane of earth, to experience and to learn and to connect with others, to allow you to know that there is more there, and to grow and to flourish within this lifetime. As a lifetime is just one small piece of what is happening, and one small piece of your soul's entire journey. But even though it may seem small, it is very important for the overall journey. For everything you experience in a lifetime gives you the ability to develop and flourish and grow into where you are. And it has made you the person you have come here to be. It has allowed you, as the soul being, to have things affect them and to experience that you will take on with you in other lifetimes, in your entire journey or life as a spiritual being, to allow yourself to get to that level that you want to get to. And so even though something may seem bad or good or terrible or extremely lucky, they are all what is made up of who you are. Now, what these items make up of who you are may or may not be what you expected to happen in a lifetime or came here to experience in a lifetime. For that is something that is very important to know as well. But it has made up the being of who you are. It has made you the being that you came here to be. And so instead of being upset or angry or pushing that away, it is important to embrace it overall and learn from it, or embrace the experience and know that it is making up the lifetime and the being that you are. Does that make sense?
It does. And then the next question then though is there a collective mission that we're here to experience, not just our own individual lifetimes, but something that's making people show up together? Like, is there something that we're supposed to be doing for life?
Yes, the collective mission is all about raising and adjusting the vibration to be more in the alignment of love. For love is the one feeling and source that is direct from the source. And everything comes from love. Everything that you give should come from the space of love. For when it is not coming from the space of love, it is not alignment within source or the collectiveness that every being wants to have. Beings from living creatures or humans, to the earth, to space, to water, to energy. Anything that is living, which all things are living on the planet, and other planets as well, want to have that connection of love. For when everything is made out of love, every decision, every child, every piece of plant that's planted, it comes with that additional energy that allows it to flourish even better than if it just came out of hate or anger or showed up for a different way. And when things come from that space, that is not a positive space. What happens is there is that connection, And there is that hump that being perhaps decided to come in with that energy that they needed to work through, or they have to work through it without realizing it. And that is where it can become very difficult for people, is if they don't know and understand where they're at, it can be detrimental for them overall. Does that make sense? What other questions may we answer for you right now?
What if you had someone in your life who didn't believe in anything? Who thinks it's just lights out, dark, that's it, nothing else?
For those people that have come in, have had experiences prior that were very difficult for them, and they have gone back into their life reviews and have not been happy with what they've done. So they've come back into this lifetime to see that there is positive, that there is love, that there is more. But they are very cynical of that fact and do not wish to understand that. They do not look at life the way others do. But part of that is overcoming that fact and overcoming that space. And you will find that when they become closer to going back to source, that they will have more of those revelations. These people also tend to be more questioning than others. They tend to look at things differently. They tend to wonder about what is happening, where things are, but they do not show others that they live in that space. For that is difficult for them to know and understand of what is happening to them and where they are. But they know deep down there is more, and their soul is trying to tell them that. They just choose, because of past experiences, to disregard that, or because this is the lifetime they've chosen to not embrace that. Is that helpful?
Yes.
What else may we answer for you?
What is our job with those types of people?
It is to allow them to have their space that they need to live the life, but also show them the positive side of things, the ability to know and understand that there is more out there, but not to push on them, but to allow them to slowly come. For you will notice with those people, in time, they might ask a little question. What do you think happens when someone passes? How does the energy you say you're feeling affect you? I'm very sad right now, and I don't know what to do to get past it. These are little things that are making them wake up, so to speak, to look at things in a different nature and in a different place, and allowing them that space to be where they need to be and to explore. But don't shun them away from what you do, but allow them to exist in the space of the enlightenment that each of you have and are experiencing. Understand there are different levels for all different people. Each of you who are here are at a very higher level than others that are around you. And by allowing yourself to experience that higher level, you also need to learn how to work with those that are not on that level or are not open. As a parent would with a child, you slowly have to feed them little things to get them to understand how to do something, how to walk, how to eat by themselves, how to read. Doing all of those things are the same way that each of you have to work with others that are not at the same level on their journey that each of you are. For each of you can connect with others in a different space and place. You can all have that different moment of understanding how to work with each person. If you are unsure of where you are and how to work with someone in particular, ask us for help. Ask your guides for help. You may ask us, the Druids, for help. You may ask any being of the realm. It could even be the energy of water or Mother Earth. All of those things will allow you to reconnect, and we will give you what is necessary to say the right thing, to do the right thing, or to adjust your energy in the right way. Is that helpful? What other questions may we answer?
In that same realm,
Yes.
because we're still having this human experience, how do we create the space so that those energies don't take us down with the negativity, or when things are because there's only so much you can sometimes do on your own. I hear you saying we could ask for help, but are there other things that we can?
You have to look as your body as more of a conduit of energy. What comes in also goes out. It is that constant movement of energy. You yourself as a being have your own energy constantly flowing. But when you come into contact with others, you also feel their energy that comes in and goes out. And as much as people say they are creating an energetic bubble so that that energy won't affect them, it is still touching them, so they're still leaving that imprint. But it's allowing it to flow. It's allowing that clearing. The same way that you cleanse yourself with water to wash off the dirt. It is the same way that you do energetically. Cleanse yourself with your own energy, source energy, whatever energy you feel you need at that time. But also feel it happening on a constant basis. The same way as you drink water, it cleanses down and out. Have your energy constantly flowing in and back out of whatever you feel you need at that moment in time. And it can be from anywhere. But know that when it sticks to you, that there is something from that energy that is important for you to know and understand. But it is not something you need to take on. And that is where so many do not do what is necessary. They take it on because they feel they are helping the other person. But that is not helping. You have just become the dumpster for them, where they will continue to dump on you. But if you can take that energy and recognize it, but say, this is yours, and I will assist you and support you in your own work through that energy. That is very different. But you have to feel it to understand it and to know where it is. But it is important to keep flushing it away. You will notice over time things will come up that come from others, come from the environment, but also may come from you yourself. It may be something your soul is saying, we want to look at this aspect that we have not looked at before. It may be we need to see what is happening and how this affects us as a being, to then know that experience. And when you feel it and you reflect on it, the same way you do with someone else, you can allow it to flow through and you can allow it to move. For as we spoke of on the grid before, as you are one small piece on this grid, the energy is constantly flowing. You have no way to isolate yourself from all other energies. For if you did, you would not be on planet Earth. Because that is what makes up the world and the lifetime you have, is energy. But it is about how you can experience what is possibly not yours or what you feel is negative and allow it to flow through. Which brings us to another thought and point of when you mention the word good and bad, negative and positive. For although you may see something as negative for you, it may be positive for you. So it's all in how someone else sees what is coming and how you can look at that. And perhaps what is experienced to you is negative, but to them is positive. Seeing it from their vantage point, shifting it for you, and allowing it to go back for them. Does that make sense? Of course. What other questions may we answer in this moment in time?
Are there energies out there, trickster energies, energies that really are just the way that you are here to channel love? Are there energies out there working against this energy of love that is?
There is always the opposite, and there are those energies that do not have the greatest good of the planet, of the universe there. But when you look at them, they all come from the same planet and universe and space, but they have different ideas of what needs to happen. So in a human way of saying, you can say yes, that they are there being different than what we have, trying to show the polar opposite and trying to make things negative or different or poor than what we want to do and bring out love. But from our aspect of it, it is allowing each soul to see things in a different way. For if our work was all that was there would be no need for us, because we would be a planet of love. So there are those energies that do show the difference at times, because they feed off of the energy of those on the planet and that connection with them. They do seem to get larger. And so it is our hope that by spreading the message and the word of what we have come here to teach and to allow others to know about love and the planet and gratitude, that it will help to keep them at a smaller expansiveness. For we want to ensure there's balance, that they balance us out as we balance them out. But we want it to stay even. We don't want one to get better than the other. Now, we can say that we are somewhat biased in that we want our work to be higher than others, that we want that concept of love and peace and joy and gratitude to be what the planet is of. And we hope that can be the case, as not only us as a collective, but other collectives are doing very similar work to us. That together we can help change the vibration or rise it, as many of you look at, to become a plane that is very important. But we know they are always there. It is just what energy does the planet give to them. One way that you can look at this other energy or opposite of what we do is really working to not change how you think or how others think of them. What you may look as something that is not positive, someone may look at as positive. But when you can allow the planet to give off the energy that she comes from, and to allow that energy to intrude all different spaces of the planet, which then radiates out to the galaxies, you then have more of an impact on those smaller pieces that are the opposite of what we do. For example, gratitude is the one energy that is not given enough. Gratitude not just for being a being, or the gift that was given, or the relationship that you have, or the ability to walk, but it is extending it to all different parts of your life and everything that comes in. Having that gratitude for the air that you breathe. No one thinks to give gratitude to the energy of air, for being able to breathe in the oxygen to live in a human form. Having the gratitude for being able to walk on grass, not walking on dirt or rock. Seeing the beauty in something, even as small as a small bug that is walking down the sidewalk with you. Gratitude that he is also living a life and is assisting in the ecosystem of the earth. And giving gratitude back to the earth for providing life. For when the earth itself has gratitude and that energy of gratitude, it can fix anything. For when you look at you as a human form, the same way the earth is a form of energy, and the human form can fix itself when it has the right food, the right nutrients, it has water, it has an environment. The body itself can heal anything, especially when it's tapped into its energy of the planet and of the celestial realm. The earth is the same way, but it feeds off of what we give back to it. It feeds off the gratitude, off the love, off of the peace. So if you can give gratitude to all things, each other, energies of the earth, and the earth itself, anything is possible that you don't even realize. We know we took a tangent, but did that answer your question?